Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Vietnam's Deputy Prime Minister says a busy bridge in the north of the country has collapsed in the wake of a super typhoon Yagi, plunging 10 cars and 2 scooters into the Red River. At least 3 people have so far been rescued and 13 more are missing after the Pong Chau Bridge in Phu Tho province collapsed, Mr Ho added. It is unclear if there have been any further deaths. Part of the 375-metre bridge is still standing and the military has been instructed to build a pontoon bridge as soon as possible. Yagi is Asia's most powerful storm this year and has killed at least 59 people since it made landfall in Vietnam on Saturday, bringing strong winds of up to 203 kilometres per hour. At least 16 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on a number of military sites in central Syria. That's according to the Syrian state news agency. Sana cited a health official as saying that another 36 people were wounded in the attacks in the vicinity of Masyaf in Hama province on Sunday night. A UK-based monitoring group reported that 25 people were killed and that the 5 targets included a scientific research centre allegedly linked to chemical weapons production. The Israeli military said it would not comment on foreign media reports of the strikes, which Syria's foreign ministry condemned as blatant aggression and Iran's foreign ministry called a criminal attack. Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has denounced the brutal killing of a senior member of the main opposition party who was kidnapped, beaten and doused with acid. On Friday, Mohammed Ali Kibao was forced off a bus by suspected security agents while travelling from the country's biggest city. A post-mortem found that Mr Kibao had been severely beaten and had acid poured in his face. President Samia condemned the brutal acts and called for an investigation into the murder. Protesters have blocked traffic in Tel Aviv in the continuation of demonstrations demanding the Israeli government do more to secure a deal to return the hostages held in Gaza. 11 months into the war, numerous rounds of diplomacy have so far failed to clinch a ceasefire deal to end the conflict and bring the release of Israeli and foreign hostages held in Gaza. Frustrations have spilled into the streets in the past week after 6 hostages were shot dead by Hamas, which saw thousands rallying to pressure the government on the issue. Several thousand people blocked roads near the Israeli Defense Ministry earlier, disrupting traffic in the center of the capital. More than 10,000 people are under mandatory evacuation orders due to a fast-spreading, uncontrolled wildfire in Southern California.
So I am currently on...
The line fire also threatens thousands of homes, businesses and other buildings in San Bernardino County, east of Los Angeles. The wildfire, which started on Thursday, spread rapidly overnight on Saturday, causing California Governor Gavin Newsom to declare a state of emergency. It is currently the 4th largest active wildfire in California after quadrupling in size on Saturday. Pope Francis has arrived in the East Timor capital Dili on the 3rd leg of his 4-country tour of Southeast Asia and Oceania. Francis arrived to a sea of enthusiastic crowds after spending several days in Papua New Guinea. The streets were electric with excitement as the pontiff's motorcade made its way through the throngs of cheering onlookers. The last papal visit to Dili was in 1989 when Pope John Paul II arrived in the territory then occupied by Indonesia. East Timor, which gained independence in 2002, has allocated $12 million for the Pope's visit, part of a marathon 12-day trip which began in Indonesia and will end in Singapore. Gun salutes have taken place around the UK to mark the 2-year anniversary of King Charles III's ascension to the throne. Here, guns firing in Hyde Park in central London. The date also falls on the 2nd anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's death in 2022. Accession days are rarely a cause for celebration as they mark the death of the previous monarchs, but tributes are traditionally paid in the form of gun salutes. The King and Queen Camilla are staying at Balmoral in his Aberdeenshire estate in the Scottish Highlands, where his mother died at the age of 96 on September the 8th, 2 years ago. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.